education source. I'm reminded that today is Palm Sunday. What does that mean? That was the day that Jesus came back into Jerusalem, the place where he was born, or the place that he would be tried and taken out. But he basically walked into enemy territory, and people celebrated his arrival with by laying palms on the ground in front of him as his, I think he was on a donkey, as his donkey walked down the path. And this was a huge sign of reverence for him because people loved him. People loved what he was teaching them. He helped them to learn to love themselves better. And this isn't really about a religious conversation. Today is really about your animal chiropractic practice. What sets you apart from that myriad of other animal chiropractors around you? You know, one of the things that we hear pretty routinely from animal chiropractors that we've trained is that there are people in their area who are not trained, who are, how do I compete with them? They're not charging very much. They are getting a lot of clients. I feel like they're competing, they're taking away my clients. What sets you apart from those other animal chiropractors in your area? People weren't going to Jesus because he was cheaper or because it was easier. People were lining up to be his disciples because he was solving a problem they had. He was helping them to feel empowered and strong and to move against forces that were not in alignment with their thought processes, forces that were keeping them held down. I want you to know one of the biggest things that we sometimes forget in Christianity is that Easter is a bigger holiday than Christmas. But in secular religions, in secular, like, the universe, governments celebrate Christmas bigger than they celebrate Easter. And one of the reasons for that is that Easter sets Christianity apart from other religions. It's the celebration of the conquering of the other mindsets, the other the other things that were going on at the time. It conquered the idea that you had to basically pay your way into your religion. It set apart the idea that people were persecuted for doing things that just somebody didn't like. And, crazy things. They would stone people for wearing the wrong clothes and things like that. That said, Easter really and truly is the idea that Christ conquered all of those things. He was persecuted, he was put to death, he was eliminated as far as those other powers went from leading his group. And yet his group grew bigger and stronger. And in animal chiropractic, I want to know, what is it that you do in your practice? What is it that you do for your clients that helps them to recognize that you are eliminating the impeding forces out there? And some of them include things like, so for instance, veterinarians have a hard time with animal chiropractic, and oftentimes, even if they've taken the class, even chiropractors, I will tell you, have a hard time with the mindset of animal chiropractic, because they still want to go in, how do I adjust an animal with XYZ diagnosis? Guess what? That diagnosis isn't even in your language. It's not a part of chiropractic. It is somebody else's quote unquote religion. And so, what do you do in your animal chiropractic practice that sets you apart? What allows you to be setting your clients free from that other mindset? That I'm not going to say that. So just like the way that popular, commercial things have co-opted many religious holidays, and I'm not even going to disagree that a lot of the Christian holidays co-opted pagan holidays because it was easier to get people to continue to celebrate their pagan holiday and a Christian holiday at the same time. That said, what are you doing in your animal chiropractic practice that helps people move into the mindset of animal chiropractic? Where are you meeting them where they are, and how are you taking them on that little trip to believe or understand what chiropractic can do for their animals and patients? Now, one of the things that we do, for instance, when we go see a herd of cattle, one of the first things we do is we line it up with when they're going to see them anyway, when they're going to have them corralled anyway. We don't say go find them and bring them in for a special chiropractic day, because that would be, number one, they would see that as a waste of their time. But until they start to see the benefits of that chiropractic adjustment, until they start to see more calves on the ground, until they start to see easier calving processes, until they start to see healthier calves, they're not going to give it up. So one of the other things that I really encourage our doctors to do is to, instead of processing that calf with a newborn vaccine and all those other things that they do with them when they first are born, I mean, sure, dip their navel, I'm okay with that. But do this, adjust them. Give them a chiropractic adjustment and watch what happens to that calf versus the others that got vaccinated and dipped and tagged and all those things that they do to them when they first are born. I think you'll be amazed. And I think once people start seeing those changes, then they'll recognize that they have become empowered by the ability to not depend on the things they have to buy. Just like Jesus showed people that they didn't have to buy their way into heaven. They didn't have to buy sacrifices or they didn't have to give up things that they needed in their life so that they could be a part of their religion. If you're a veterinarian or a chiropractor who has yet to add animal chiropractic to your practice today, first I want to thank everyone who joined me today. You guys are amazing. Keep spreading the word. And I also want to say this. Remember that today's a very, very special day. It's a celebration of what sets you apart, what makes you different from all those others around you who continue to only be able to see, I got to buy the drugs, I got to buy the things. I'm not there yet. It sets you free from that. Find us today at animalchiropracticeducation.com.